I'm roving reporter Jay Leshark, here in Phuket, with breaking news. The Thai government have just signed an MOU to do boat transfers from Phuket Airport to various locations on the west coast of Phuket. Is it good news for you? Is it bad news for you? Will it work? Who knows? I don't, so let's go and ask someone who does. We're going to ask Shaun. Shaun is the CEO and owner and founder of 5-Star Marine Phuket. That's right! Shaun, what do you think about... Well, he's not here right now. He's going to come in a minute. Right, let's get to the video. Thanks! Very recently, the Thai government have come out that they're going to start doing boat transfers from Phuket Airport all the way down the west coast to certain beaches. It's come out in the news. It's going to be fantastic for Phuket. It's going to be great for your transfer times because the roads are going to be clearer and you're going to get to enjoy the beautiful Phuket west coast by boat. Hey Shaun, how do you feel about it?
Well, soon I'm going to get myself up on a whole bunch of defamation charges. But
Hold
anyway,
on, if Shaun says anything wrong, you'll hear a big beep and it'll be say censored. Carry on,
I think
Shaun.
like this before we in Thailand, expats, the very first thing that we do is we talk negatively about everything. So what I want to do is put straight out there and say, actually, this is a really great idea. The concept of freeing up the roads using boats. We're an island. This is not a new concept. It happens in Maldives.
Does it?
Yes, the Maldives.
The Maldives?
Yes, the Maldives. Maldives.
No, but hold on. They have to do that in the Maldives because they're islands.
Yeah, but even if you go
And the resorts are on islands.
even if you go to locations like
No, but you can't drive to an island in the Maldives.
like the Gold Coast or Sunshine Coast in
Where's that?
in Australia.
Australia?
They also do it like this.
Do they? What, from the airport?
No, but they'll do it like from different destinations. Maybe you want to go from a casino to a harbour. You want to go from a resort
Hold
to a
on.
harbour.
Don't gamble, kids. It's bad.
Yeah, well, we can't really talk about casinos.
No, we're going to get bleeding out for that.
Yeah. But this concept is not a new concept. It's a perfectly great idea. And actually, Phuket, one of the biggest problems with Phuket is infrastructure at the moment, meaning that the roads are
Very
How long
busy.
does it take you to pick up your kids?
Depending on the day, but it can take up to an hour's drive, and it's only a 5-minute drive
And
away.
in peak season, even worse.
Well, Friday nights are terrible, to be fair.
I have a friend who works up in Qatar, and he
Down in Qatar.
down in Qatar, and he posts on his Facebook account probably every Friday night his commute from his hotel to his house being somewhere between an hour and 40 and 2 hours.
Can I give him some advice?
Yes.
Move closer.
Or don't drive, walk, move faster. So yeah, I think actually the idea, the basic concept of what they're trying to achieve is a great idea.
The concept is this: you're going to come out from Phuket Airport, you land, go through immigration after 4 hours, and then you get through, you get your little SIM card at the thing, and then you walk through the thing, taxi.
This is the first problem.
And then where do you go from there?
Well, this is the first problem. The Phuket Airport hasn't been built in such a way that there's an accessible pier close by.
You could just get dropped off, because the plane flies over the beach, you could just get dropped off.
Well,
That'd be cool, though.
If you're looking at, like, if I was to physically do this today, someone rang me today and said, Shaun, I'm going to land at the airport.
Hold on, Shaun. Hello, is that Shaun? I'm landing at the airport, can you help me?
How do I pick you up and transfer you to, let's say, as an example, let's use an easy hotel, let's use Amapuri.
Only the poshest hotel on the island.
So, okay, I could technically pick you up from Saracen Bridge Beach.
Yes.
Then I could transfer you to Amapuri, which has its own pier.
Does it?
Yep, Amapuri has its own pier available during peak season. During non-peak season, they take it out. Guess why?
Oh, because of the waves.
And so one of the reasons why this is not going to work is because of the
Waves?
And it's probably only, if it's going to work, it's probably only going to work for a very short period of time during peak season because of the
Waves?
Anyway, so let's say that is possible. Well, you're going to come off the plane, you're going to find a taxi. The taxi's going to then take you to Saracen Bridge. Guess what? Saracen Bridge, the pier itself, there's no lighting. It's a beach. It's not really a nice place to get on and off a boat.
Well, we've got video of us getting there.
Yeah, and so I would say to you, like, conceptually, there's so many problems around what they're trying to achieve that without a real plan, and Phuket doesn't do real plans, like Phuket decides to go and build a brand new road in the middle of high season and thinks it's a great idea. Like, it makes no sense, So in this concept of signing this MOU, and I've been to MOU signings. I signed an MOU. We signed an MOU about marine safety, where the government promised, and this was signed by governors, marine directors, marine police, the police of every single district in all of Thailand.
Even Sting from the police.
Yep. They said that they were going to go and do drug testing on a monthly basis. They were going to enforce life jackets on.
As your lawyer, can I just jump in here and just say, just be careful what you're about to say?
And they're going to do all of these things, and at the end of the signing of this MOU, guess what?
Once again, as your lawyer, just be careful what you're about to say.
None of this happens.
Okay, I'm officially not your lawyer anymore. But the concept of the boat...
while I don't mind the idea of the MOU, I think it's completely ridiculous because they haven't... what they're going to do is they're going to pay a bunch of money to a marine consultant, and probably not us because we would be the ones that would come in and actually be able to make it work. But they're going to pay a bunch of money to a marine consultant to do what are those studies called? The study feasibility study, of which they're basically going to say it's totally unfeasible, and the feasibility period for it to work would be such a short period of time that it won't work. And why won't it work? Well, let's talk about firstly the west side of the island. Most speedboat operators don't operate this side of the island.
West side.
Therefore, the captains, the engineers, and the boat crews, they don't understand it. They don't know the hidden coral, they don't know the rocks, they don't know the tides, they don't know. So this is the the reason why we operate from the east coast is because the captains understand the east coast.
And also, on the west coast, it's quite shallow.
Well, the next thing, okay, so let's talk tide.
Okay, let's talk tide, and not the washing powder. Do you have tide in Australia?
You and I both know that during COVID we ran tours to the west coast because we had expats stuck here on the island. They're looking for weird things to do, and so we would go pick them up from a beach club, maybe something like Catch, and then we would then go take them along island hopping along the beaches, and then drop them back to a pier. Now, what the thing that the locals, at least the local, they understand is tide. So if I'm going to pick you up from Catch and you're in low tide, you're probably going to walk through 300 meters of water to get to a boat. How the hell are you going to do that with all your luggage?
Not me, mate.
Could you imagine someone flying Emirates first class, landing into Phuket, going through the fast lane, getting into a car, going to a beach like Saracen's Bridge Beach to go onto a boat, to land onto a beach where they're going to have to walk through whatever it is that they wore on an aeroplane, to then walk through to get to their hotel, and let's say that they're going to get around that. They're going to install floating piers. Well, you and I don't know what floating piers are. How many floating piers have we installed in the last 2-3 years to facilitate movie production?
How many floating piers have we cut from trees to get them out into float?
And one of the things that we understand about floating piers is that the moment that it gets windy, a floating pier becomes unsafe.
That's right.
It's unusable, it's unsafe,
I can understand the concept if you're staying on an island resort, such as
you and I had this
Island.
conversation the other day. Like, if you wanted to pilot a program like this, you would pilot it to Nakra Island, Yelya Island, Yelnoy Island, and Coconut Island. Come off the plane, jump onto a boat, and then go out to the resorts. But the resorts...
But those resorts are already set up for boat transfers.
But these resorts are already doing transfers, so why haven't they done it?
Because it's not feasible.
There you go. So the answer is already there. It's an unfeasible program.
Shaun, be more positive about this thing.
No, I'm not being... I'm not trying to be negative about it, but like a positive media story, it comes out like this, it then puts a wave of customer inquiries to companies like ours as to why won't we do it? And for us as a company, we'll be honest. We'll come out and we'll say to you, look, it's unsafe, it's unviable, there's tides, there's wind, there's waves. But you know what? There's operators that are not like us. There's operators that are going to come out and say, yeah, I can do that for you. Yeah, I can pick you up from Saracen Bridge Beach at 6 p.m. and drop you at Patong at 8 p.m. and
good luck with that.
You know what? What's going to happen? And we don't want to talk about it, but right now, you know this as well as I do, not every beach in Phuket has even enough lifeguards to manage the amount of people currently on the beach, let alone bringing in a speedboat full of people being transferred for an airline.
Well, that, and also during high season, the amount of jet skis that will be coming off the beach and going into those. So look, we better wrap this up. So on a positive note, you think the concept is okay?
Conceptually, it's a great idea.
Conceptually.
And when you go through a feasibility phase of it, you need to actually have somebody who's done this before. Somebody, and I'm not saying that we're the people to do it for you, but like we have built piers on the West Coast. We do understand what it looks like. You know, we filmed the Meg 2 on the West Coast.
Meg 2? Rubbish film.
And we found out by July it was unfeasible to have a boat on the West Coast to do anything. We couldn't load people on it, we couldn't move equipment, and we couldn't film. So, you know, like, you have to understand, like, actually, you know, very recently we filmed, and a big plug, because I really like this show, we filmed for 007 James Bond.
Yeah, that video didn't do very well, by the way.
No, it didn't do it very well, but it's a great piece of filming. And when they first came here to see us, the very first thing they said to us is they want to film exactly what we're going to film on the West Coast at the exact same time of year.
Can't do it.
That's the exact same thing I said to them. It's not possible. It's not feasible.
Well, there you go.
So yes, from a positive point of view, I think it's great to see that the government's coming up with ideas on how to solve the traffic problem on the island. But I think one of the very first things that they can do about solving the traffic problem on the island is probably enforcing some of the laws on the traffic that should be happening. Like,
as your lawyer, just be careful again what you're about to say.
do we have licensed drivers driving cars? Is there a limit to the amount of cars that are available on the island? Or do we make it easy to have access to go to
even better, do roundabouts work? And let's leave it at that, Shaun. Thanks for watching. If you've got any questions about the new boat transfer system that may or may not happen in the next 5 to 10 years, then comment below. Apart from that, thanks for watching.
And watch the hate come below in the comments.
We're going to get some hate. Well, I'm not, because Shaun said it all.
You know, I just turned up in here for an interview and he's dressed like this.
Hi, Shaun.
Hey, Jay, how you doing? His name's
I'm...
He said it! He said it!
Honestly,
Oh,
stop.
she's licking my neck.